Today marks the accomplishment of a lot of firsts for me. My first time being in a relationship, my first time being married, my first time being in love. Well, hopefully.
Experts hit it. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I don't think I can do this. I don't want to marry a stranger.
Oh shit.
Oh, boy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Married at First Sight edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's the one and only Teresa right there.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? And clearly, based on our intro, not everyone got married at first sight.
No, some people got stood up at first sight.
Also, this is episode 3, so you all know that.
Yes. And on that note, we are back. Sorry to leave you hanging those first couple episodes, but you guys know we don't have to explain ourselves again. But for those who don't, our family was in town.
Yes.
T's family was in town from the Czech Republic, and so
We did a family vacation, John's parents, my parents, me being the best translator ever.
Yeah, is your tongue tired?
No, it should be. Every night, John was very sweet. I'm going to give you some kudos,
Oh, please do.
ladies. Every night before we went to bed, John was like, thank you for all the translating. You're doing so great.
You
It was
were
beautiful.
You really were.
Well, I had no choice. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. So the fact of the matter is, Teresa was talking nonstop all day and night, translating back and
Ooh.
forth, and plus the 3 pots we were already doing and trying to spend time with the family. So we had to delay maths.
Yes.
But I think episode 3 is a good place to start. If
absolutely.
If I'm going to be honest.
I always say that. I'll say it again. I don't like all that suit shopping and dress shopping because it's like, all right, trying dresses, trying suits. You're telling parents and family you're getting married. Everyone's like, oh, wow, congrats. You really want to do this? It's like same old, every single one. So I almost enjoy starting on episode 3.
I don't know if we'll make it a habit, but I hope that you guys got on just fine without our commentary on episodes 1 and 2. Obviously, the big story of the first 2 episodes was Michael getting stood up at the altar.
Yeah.
It's a Married at First Sight first.
Yeah, I'm surprised. We had, you remember the OG couple? They have a bunch of kids now. New York.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie.
Doug.
Yeah. Once she said I do, but then she like freaked out. She's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be married to him. Look at them now.
Yeah.
No one ever said no.
That's the process, is you trust the experts. That's why you did this. If you were going to trust your eyeballs, then don't sign up for the show. Just go to a bar or a Starbucks and roll the dice and pick your own partner. The whole idea is that, okay, I'm going to put my fate into someone else's hands and I'm going to show up and maybe I won't like what I see, but I'm going to go forward and trust that maybe something good will happen.
Bar or Starbucks? Who picks up people at Starbucks? You pick up coffees and muffins, like my mother.
Okay. Well, you're
Have you ever picked up a girl at Starbucks?
No, I've never picked up a girl at a bar, really.
You
But,
have not?
well, define pick up.
Like you smooth talk her into a date.
No, I've never. Let's move on.
You were in a band.
I don't consider that a bar. That was a venue, Teresa. It was a venue.
You mean the venue at the bar?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to one, not you playing, but one of the venues, as you say. It's a bar.
Yeah, you have. But trust the process. She totally signed up probably for clout, probably for Instagram followers, and then realized, you know what, this is not going to end well, and I don't even want to get involved. Or maybe something else, maybe work was like, absolutely not. There had to have been something, and I want to get to the bottom of it.
Or you just freak out and you realize, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be on TV. What if it doesn't work out? I don't want to do this. Marriage is huge, and I don't know anyone who get engaged but didn't make it to the wedding. I don't know if you do. But people do break up. Engaged people break up. Marriages break up. So this is something. This is serious.
Yeah. One of our friends called in and gave us a little insight that this runaway bride decided days, weeks before the wedding that she didn't want in, but because of the contract, if she bailed before the wedding day, she would have owed $50K. And so she's like, all right, well, here's the loophole. I just show up to the wedding and say no. MAFS can't force you to marry someone. And so then she went through with it up to that point and then bailed.
Yeah.
And then kind of she had her cake and ate it too. She didn't have to pay the fine. She didn't have to get married. And so that's what we heard. It makes sense. But it looks like they found a match for Michael.
Yeah, let's see if he takes it.
Let's see if he takes it.
I like Michael. He's interesting.
He's definitely interesting. There's there's some characters.
Oh,
There's definitely
yeah.
some characters this season.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely looks good. It looks like things are heating up. And then, yeah, the scenes for the season
I know.
Look like-
I know.
look like
I
they know how to tease. Let's just say that. They know how to tease.
They sure do, because the teasing looks like there's going to be some cheating.
There's going to be a little cheating maybe between Lauren and Orion. There might be ATV accident.
Ooh,
Emily.
We saw, like,
Tears.
I really, really like Cameron from New Zealand.
Okay.
I think he's, like, down-to-earth dude.
All right, we're going to
she-
disagree on that then.
I think she's a little crazy. I think Claire is crazy.
Define the C word, because you're hurling an accusation that. Define that for me.
Agree. I think she's just like, and I get the family closeness, sure, but very like, I don't think she's a very spontaneous and open-minded when it comes to certain things. I think she
That's
has.
the opposite of crazy, Teresa.
I think she wants things to be done a certain way. I think they will have an issue because I think he's more of a, let's try this, let's try that, let's pack,
What?
let's go on a trip.
Let's try this mountain biking trail. No. Let's try that mountain biking trail. Huh?
He has a hobby, so what?
He's got an obsession.
So it pays his bills.
Okay. All right. I know you're getting sweet talked by that accent.
Not even that. I find him to be a nice guy. I don't think they're a good match. I think he needed someone more outdoorsy, someone more like out there. She seems very like, all right, I'm gonna go to the gym, but then I'm gonna sit home with a family and hold hands and watch TV. I don't. She doesn't seem like
Lifetime movies at Claire's.
she doesn't seem like someone who's very spontaneous and adventurous, which is fine, but not if you pair her up with someone who is.
All right. Well, bite your tongue. Hold your thoughts. We'll get into all that.
I think I'm just not her fan because she looked at the kiwi and said, "What is this?"
All right, we'll get to all that. Okay.
Okay.
We'll get to all that. Before we do, real quick, a little business. You guys know it. We're on Patreon. We're on Supercast. We're talking about 90 Day the Other Way over there. It's a fantastic season. It's in full swing. And if you want to hear our thoughts on that, come on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/marriedtoreality, or Supercast, marriedtoreality.supercast.com. Join us. We're having fun over there. Also, follow us on Instagram at marriedtorealitypod. You can message us, call in. When we say call in, share your thoughts. That's how you do it. Message us right on Instagram at marriedtorealitypod, or if you're on the Patreon, message us there.
We love it. We have the chat going
with us.
on.
Chat with us there.
Send us photos of your dogs or Halloween costume. Check out our Halloween costume, Michael.
Oh, boy. I'm trying to get that image out of my head, Teresa. You keep reminding me.
Me?
Yeah.
Me in 60...
Nah, don't even say you. Just Angela.
No, me in 20 years.
And Tarangela
She
would have
needs
been
to
like...
drink some water.
Yeah, mixing up water. So we're on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Follow us over there. Also, follow along wherever you're listening because we're dropping MAFS now, and we think it's going to be dropping on Thursday. That's the plan. That's what we're doing.
Will be,
That's what
yeah.
we're doing right now. But make sure you're following so no matter what we drop, when we drop it, it'll come right to your device. It's so easy to do. Look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as this brand new Denver season.
Woo! Mile high.
Yes, I've
Mile hot.
never been to Denver, but it looks like a place I would want to live in with all the beautiful mountains and the snow.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
I like it. So, all right, smash like it's as hottest this season. And last but not least, we're suckers for reviews. If you haven't left us a review, please do. If you leave a 5-star review, we will read it on our Monday podcast.
Yes.
All right. That's it. That's the business. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Teresa, you've been waiting to talk about it. Let's do it. You got a lot of thoughts. Let's share them. MAFS, Denver. It's season 17. It's episode 3. And let's start with Teresa's least favorite, I guess, or one of her least favorites.
Oh, I
Claire?
love this couple. I don't love Claire. So, yes, Claire, 27. She is a therapist. And Cameron, 32, a bike shop owner.
So here's why I'm not the biggest fan of the family, Claire. I feel like they were using this as a free photo op for their Christmas card. Like they were all dressed like Mrs. Claus. And I said, you know what? They definitely pushed Cameron's family aside at one point. We're like, photographer, just one of us for the Christmas card.
Well, they didn't have to push his family aside. His family is far aside in New Zealand with
Yeah, well-
all the beautiful Kiwis.
Well, I guess his mom's roommate's RA's neighbor
Sure.
and her family was there.
Yeah, her family is Scottish, I guess. That was all that little
Okay.
decor. But yeah, I see what you're
It
saying.
looked like Mrs. Claus.
I love my family. I love your family. If they were so involved in our lives, I would not love them this much.
Yeah,
I never understand, and this is just me, guys, don't hate me for this, but all this closeness, it's like it's like get a life, people.
that's big family energy. We don't have big families, but
Thank God.
that's big family energy where it's like we do it all together all
Nah.
the time, dinners and holidays and movies.
No, again, love my family. I love your family. It's our family. Like our family vacation was awesome. We spent 2 weeks with my parents, a week with your parents. We'll see them over Thanksgiving again. I love it. But I love the two of us. Like I love being alone with you. I love it. And so I think if we have people around all the time, then I would be like, ugh, here you go again, Mom. The fact we don't see them often makes it exciting.
This is a little different, especially for MAFS. I mean, MAFS is riddled with broken families and broken homes.
True.
You have Claire, who's getting walked down the aisle by both of her parents.
Very true.
You don't see that every season on MAFS. So, yeah, it's a little bit different, but that doesn't upset me. What upsets me, and I think what upset you, is, yes, when she first got the gift from Cameron, she's like, oh, what is this? Like a penguin? Whoa. And then
It's like, why did he give me this stuffed thing?
And then she gets to the altar and hears his accent, and she's like, "Oh, your gift makes total sense." Like all of a sudden, you're a New Zealand expert.
Like all of a sudden, you know it was a kiwi.
because you heard his voice.
It was a kiwi, the flyless bird.
That's what bothered me. I'm like, stop it! You don't know. Somebody
Someone
told you.
her. Someone told her that it's a kiwi, the flyless bird that's native to New Zealand. I mean, I don't.
What are you reading the Wikipedia page?
No, I like kiwis. You know I like kiwis.
Yes.
I don't like birds, but I like kiwis.
Yes.
Because they look like kiwis.
Well, that's my question. Someone call in. I don't want you to look this up. If you know, you can share. Which came first, the chicken or the fruit? Or the bird or the fruit? Right? Was the bird named after the fruit, or is the fruit named after the bird?
I'm going to say the bird was named after the fruit. I don't know. We have a friend from New Zealand. Can you please tell us what's up with the kiwis?
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to our friend.
Yes. So, okay. Claire's family and friends want Cameron to know she's genuine and compassionate. She has the brightest personality, and get ready for those Kiwi impressions because they're going to come at you hot.
Yeah, also, if our friend can tell us, if I go to New Zealand, I see a kiwi, can I pick him up? Moving on.
Call in. Also, apparently, Cameron, you're going to get roasted. There's like a family roast that they do, I don't know, every year at Thanksgiving.
See, that's like, ugh. It's
I'm
like,
kind of into this. I'm a fan of a roast. I like a roast.
okay.
If it's well done.
Like the Michael Scott roast.
Like the roast of Michael Scott.
Boom, roasted.
So Cameron's friends and family want Claire to know he's just a tall man with a great head of hair and an accent. His accent's probably the coolest thing about him, unless you think biking is cool.
I like this. It was really good. Really, it wasn't like it was like everything's like, oh, he's so amazing and he's so loving. He's gonna hug you with a fluffy blanket and massage your feet, and it's like, no, like, yeah, let's be a little funny. He's from New Zealand, all the Kiwis.
I don't know if that kind of humor
Why
lands.
don't you like him?
Why?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm fine with him.
Okay.
Once we get to the reception and some of the things he's saying and the way he's talking to grandma, I think he's a little full of himself.
What?
I think he's a little full of
I
himself.
like when he was talking to Gigi.
Babichka?
Yes.
I think he's a little full of himself.
I don't think he is. The only thing, I do not like bicycles. So, like, for me, I'm like, bro, bicycles?
Okay.
But I get it. It's Colorado.
Again, I just don't like when one specific thing becomes your entire personality. And he's already made bikes his entire personality.
He owns a shop. It's his hobby. I think it's cool. It's like if you said, oh, this guy plays in a band and he writes songs. He's like, he's a musician. That's his whole personality.
No, it's absolutely not. But if all he did was talk about guitar and own a guitar shop, and at the altar it was like, well, there's really nothing cool about him unless you like guitar. It's like, that's his entire personality is a bike.
We just met him. Let's give him some
All
credit.
right.
What's her personality? Just being short?
Yeah. Is she short or is he tall?
I think she said she's 5'0".
At least she can wear heels around him.
True. Don't get me wrong, she's very pretty. I
think she's pretty.
I just think that I don't think their personalities will match. We'll
Okay.
see. So far, everyone's happy. Everyone seems to be loving each other, although he doesn't look too excited.
Well, she
looks very excited.
Well, here's what I picked up on at the altar. He was staring her down, and
because she's so short.
very funny. He was staring at her, and that could be taken one of two ways. It's admiration, although it looked more serious than admiration, or it could be kind of like dissecting her. And I don't know if I like what I see.
I'm just gonna say it. Can I
Please.
just jump in? I'm sorry.
Sure.
I think he thinks she's beautiful. She is beautiful. I don't think she is his type.
Okay,
And
that's a
I think
good
he's
shout.
like, he's like, okay, she's beautiful. I can do this, but that she's not a girl I would normally go for. And later on, he's gonna make a comment saying, "Oh, I would normally see guys like this going for you, not
Okay.
guys like him." So I can see that he's probably like, okay, beautiful girl, not necessarily what I would pick.
Okay, so give me your thoughts on this. Claire was not really making eye contact at all. She
He's
was
so tall.
it hurt her neck.
Yeah,
Because she was all eyes on the officiant.
they all do it. Think about it. This is the first season, and I'm glad you said it. I was watching every single one of them. They all stared, especially the females, at the officiator. Brennan could not stop looking at the officiator. He barely looked at Emily.
Okay.
They all do it. I think it's because it's so awkward because you don't know the person that you can just stare at them. Like you and I, we could not stop staring, right? And you cried a little, I cried a little.
Stop
It was
it.
beautiful.
You stop it, Teresa.
But
I like how
I think it's a little different for them.
I like how you call them the officiator. Like it's like a hybrid between officiant and Terminator. It's like, I'll be back to marry the next couple. I'm the officiator. So official.
Wait, that's not the correct word.
I think it's officiant. I mean, maybe you can substitute it for officiator.
Well, I thought it was an officiator.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Okay.
So they say I do. The exchange rings. Cameron's a bit too tight. Didn't fit on the finger.
No.
Possibly foreshadowing. Did you?
Red flag.
Oh, I don't think it's her fault.
Oh, it's like a not red flag. It's like a bad sign.
This is new for this season. Teresa's going to be doing little sound bites, I think. Did you see he put it on his pinky finger?
I did not.
Yeah, he slipped on the pinky finger. So they seal the marriage with a nice kiss. And then
And
like
a hug.
It was like a strange hang hug. But again, it's
Because
all
he is so tall.
It's all you can do.
Like sometimes like I'm just gonna share something personal. I'm 5'5", you're 6'2", right?
Yeah. Are you shrinking? Because when I met you, you were 5'6", or you lied to me.
No, okay. My driver's license is 5'5". My doctor said I'm 5'6". I don't know which one it is.
Let's go with 5'6".
Okay. And when we hug, I mean, sometimes we hug for a while.
Because you understand, you choose what you put on your driver's license.
Yeah, maybe
no one measures you.
Maybe I'm mistaken it.
Yeah.
But my doctor
the
said
doctor measures you. You understand.
Yeah. My doctor said I'm 5'6". Anyways, sometimes when we hug for a longer period of time, as we often do, my back starts to hurt because you're so. If I look at you, because you're tall, and I need to put my head back.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't want to stop hugging. But then I'm like, my back. She's 5 or 6 inches shorter than me. So, I can't imagine that neck pain.
My driver's license says I'm 6'2", and my doctor says I'm lying.
Were you waiting to say this line this whole time? You were holding it like a poop.
All right, moving. No, I am 6'2". It's just a joke. Okay, Teresa's favorite part, they go out. We're a little loopy, guys. They go outside to talk.
Yes, the chatting.
The chat. So Claire is happy.
She's super excited. She's like, he's so cute and the accent and he's very handsome. He's beautiful. Cameron's like, she's beautiful. And we finally learned how is it possible that this man is in the States. His mom is from Ohio. So he has a dual citizenship.
Yeah. Who hates Ohio? Shithead Steve.
Yes. He's always like, nothing's worse than freaking Ohio and Florida.
Well, guilty of one of those. So, okay. Cameron does say if we were sitting next to each other in a cafe, we would start talking, which goes back to my point. It's like the old-fashioned way of meeting at a Starbucks, cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Cameron throws out the suggestion that they go back and have a second wedding in New Zealand so that his family can be there.
Nice.
I
We
support
were
that.
trying to do that, and thank you, COVID-19. Luckily, my entire family came to our wedding, including my aunt and uncles, and aunts, uncles, cousins, right? All the Czechs flew in.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't really need to do that in Czech. It would have been for fun.
Yeah. So speaking of family, this is where I thought maybe you were going with the whole crazy Claire thing. When she brings up her brother and says how she feels like he's the one who orchestrated this.
Yeah, it's a little...
Like he's the one who's going through the Google forms and matching people together. And I get it. People grieve differently and cope differently. But no, I don't think your brother brought you to maps.
How
I
do you
think
know
it was
they use Google Forms?
they show it at the start of every season. It's just like the most basic survey that you fill out, and then they print them off, shuffle them up, and just start pushing papers together, and you got yourself a season. But I don't think it's Claire's brother who's doing that. I think it's production.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's Claire who signed up.
Yeah. But again, she would say, well, I felt my brother's presence lead me to that Google form.
Yeah. Again, you said this. People cope differently. I don't know if I would give brothers so much credit.
Well, it's not even credit. And here's why I'd be cautious to even say that. You look at the stats, this marriage is going to go down in a ball of flames.
It is.
And you're putting it on your brother.
Yeah.
Like my brother led me to this moment, which is more than likely going to end in a huge giant failure.
Yeah. I wish it could work for them because I like him and I feel like they could make it work. Like right now they seem to be like happy hitting it off, but I don't think they are compatible.
I agree. But I'm team Claire. You're team Cameron.
I'm teal Cameron because of all the Kiwis. Also, like, he's cute, so.
Yeah, in like he looks 16, but he's 32 sort of way.
I don't think he looks 16.
He's so into bikes because he doesn't have his driver's license, probably. He's got his learner's permit, maybe.
You know what bugs me about Claire?
I'll say what I don't want to say it. You go ahead.
It's her laugh.
Oh.
I can't stand it.
Okay.
She's like if Janice from Friends is number 10, Claire is like number 7.
Oh, I was going to say in whatever. I don't love her hair. It's very Jen and Rishi from 9. That blonde.
It's like, where do you live in 2005?
Yeah, I don't love it.
Yeah, I don't love it either.
But that's
Since
all.
we're being judgmental. Listen, beautiful girl.
Yeah, I think she's very pretty.
She should not laugh.
That hair was a choice. All right. Let's take some photos where you can't hear the laugh, but you can see the hair. Maybe one of the worst backdrops in MAF's history. A stairway to nowhere, some plants, and like a shower curtain. It was awful.
I guess. I didn't really pay attention, to be honest.
You were probably shielding your eyes from it. It was offensive.
Some of them had pictures outside. Those were nice with the snow.
It's a step in the right direction, but yeah, it was still like when they were outside the brick building, it didn't look great. Not good photos for anyone.
Look at Judge Judy over here.
Judge Jonathan, please. But yeah, maybe the stairway to nowhere is just a metaphor for these relationships because there's just this random stairway.
I saw the stairs.
It went to nowhere. It was like
How do you
8
know?
steps and then just ended.
Really? So you couldn't go up?
You could go up, but there was nowhere to go to.
I missed that. I wish I didn't.
Yeah. So lonely photos. It was just the two of them, right?
Yeah, lonely photos and then this awkward first dance.
She had to stand on her tippy toes, like put on some ballet shoes because she was on her tippy toes
They were
trying to
also
dance.
dancing like when we went to a ski trip when I was in 7th grade.
Oh.
We had to have our arms straight.
Yeah. Make a little room for Jesus.
Yes, and like all the guys were like trying to touch our butts. And the teachers were like, don't do it.
Classic Europe.
Yeah. So we had to like, the girls, they literally told us holding I was in 7th grade. How old was I? 12?
Yeah.
13?
Yeah, exactly.
We had to hold shoulders and the guys had to hold our hips.
Mm-hmm.
John Bon Jovi was a big hit. What was the song?
Bovine Jovi.
It's my life.
Yeah, it's now or
never.
Yeah.
It was that year.
Nice. Here's what I will say, because in this moment I did realize how tall Cameron is.
I would like to know the number.
Okay. But here's where I'll be Team Cameron for a minute. The last time we saw a guy this tall, he went by the name Tree. And
He was
Justin.
He was too tall.
Justin. Well, not even too tall, but he could not stop talking about like, oh, I'm so tall, so my penis is so big.
Yeah, because he was a douche.
Yeah, he had some issues he had to work through. At least Cameron hasn't mentioned his large penis at this point.
I don't think he will because he's from New Zealand. I don't think that's his vibe.
Huh.
But I'm gonna say this. I think he is cute, but I think him being tall helps a lot. If he was 5'7",
Well, he would look too young then. He would look too boyish.
yes, and he would not be that cute.
Okay. So then they're eating and they're talking and they bring up how it's important for them to have their own hobbies, remain individuals. I don't think Claire wants to get on the back of a 2-seat bicycle and go for a ride anytime soon.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, like, I'm glad you have your own hobbies because guys with no hobbies who just follow you and latch onto you, it's the worst. I'm like, who did you date before?
But again, this is more than a hobby. This is an obsession. This is his life. This is his being. This is his personality.
And it's okay. He should have met a girl on a biking trail. Like, he should have met someone who is equally obsessed.
No, maybe it's good. Maybe he needs to get out of that circle and realize there's more to life than just the bike trails.
He doesn't need to do that.
Anything that you do too much can be unhealthy. And it's too early. I'm being hyperbolic here. But all we've heard him talk about and his friends and family talk about is biking and how much he loves biking. And so I'm sure there's other layers to him. But that's all we know at this point, and that's what I'm reacting to.
Well, we'll see.
Okay. Then they do both confirm to each other that they're attracted to one another. And they do seem to be relaxing a little bit and getting more comfortable.
He's like hitting it off with the mom. He's hitting it off with the sisters. Like, he's hitting it off with the family.
Okay. And here's where I really started to dislike him. And
Okay, tell me why.
Dislike is too strong of a word, but where he started to irritate me the slightest. When he's talking with Claire's sisters, and he's like, oh, I used to laugh at people who wouldn't move away from their families. And clearly none of them did. And it's a little offensive to say, even if you come to this realization of like, oh no, family is great. You still don't need to say that. I used to laugh at people.
Yeah, that was a little harsh, but I do judge people slightly, I guess. Like, I think you need to get out and like leave and see what's out there if you can, right? 90% of my Czech friends never left my hometown, right? No one. They maybe moved a village over or two villages over. That's about it. But that's the difference between me and them. I don't have anything in common with them.
But I would never laugh at those people.
Oh, I would never laugh.
I would say, oh man, there's so much out there that they're not experiencing. They could open their minds and learn new things and grow in new ways. But I would never laugh at them. I would just
I would never laugh.
I would
You
go,
do you.
oh, you're missing out. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I don't think he meant it. I think he meant it in a way like, oh, I never understood, or
Okay.
I think poor choice of words.
Okay, well then
But
how
yeah,
about
laughing is bad.
how about when he's still talking to the sisters, like, yeah, everything academically I've excelled at. And they're like, oh, okay, why don't you like brush your shoulder off? Like he's getting cocky, he's a little arrogant. He's starting to rub me the wrong way.
First of all, I missed this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And second of all, he's nervous. He's trying to shine. Like, you just met these people. You just married their sister. Who told you that you're going to be grilled? So I think you're just trying to present yourself in the best possible way. Like, did he ever, I think if I was in this position, I would want to shine too. I would be like trying to think of all the things I want in life.
And I think that's
I've
off-putting.
never won anything.
I think that's off-putting to make it all about you. Make it about your new partner, how excited you are to get to know them and spend time with them. Don't be like, oh, well, I've excelled at. Ask questions.
Well, if they asked you about
They didn't ask. Oh, did you excel academically?
So what was the question?
He just came out and said it.
I don't think so.
I think he did.
No one just comes to someone and says, I have academically excelled at everything. How's your day? How's your day going?
I'm pretty sure he did. But you may be right. Maybe they asked a question that warranted that response. I don't know.
I mean, she's a therapist, so I assume she's well educated. Education is important to her. She said, hey, I think he's a smart guy. That's great. Maybe they ask him, how is it going with the education? And he said, well, I've academically excelled at everything. Right? Meaning, like, he got whatever degree he needed. Now he's fixing bikes. YOLO.
All right. So
I'm just playing the devil's advocate because you clearly don't like this Kiwi.
no, I'm actually okay with him, but there's just a couple things that I'm saying, hey, if this is the first episode we're potting about and I already have these feelings, I'm going to put them out there and let's see if they change.
Let's see.
I'm willing to be convinced otherwise.
Well, let's see.
Let's sit down and talk to Grandma. I love Grandma. Love this babichka. A real stickler for spelling. She's like, does Cameron begin with a C or a K?
Beautiful.
This grandma still stuffs a little cash in those birthday cards.
For sure.
You can tell grandma's putting a crisp 50 in a birthday card.
And she has candy on her table.
She's got a couple Werther's Originals.
Your grandma used to do it.
Absolutely. And she's got great advice.
Yeah.
I would love to have grandma on the pod. We could always elaborate on our 3 C's. Sometimes they become 4 C's.
Yeah. Is it communication,
Communication,
copulation?
banging it out, and compromise.
Yes.
Grandma throws in a couple others, which some relate, some are fresh ideas. Don't argue.
Well, that's a good one.
Cut it off, right? Like, don't try to one-up the other person. Don't tit for tat. You did this, right? And she says, don't look for imperfections. Look for the positives, which is such good advice in a situation like this.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're blind to the person, you see them, and boom, you're judging everything all at once, and you're going to start nitpicking. It's like, no. Start with the positives first.
Yeah, for sure. Grandma, or as they say, Gigi.
Oh, I thought that was your nickname for her.
No, they called her Gigi.
I like it.
I like it more than Nonna. I really don't understand Nona.
What did you have? I know you still have a living grandma. What
I
were
had
your names?
Babička, and then I had Babička.
2 babičkas?
I had Babička Jindřiška, that's the one you know. I had Babička Alenka, that's the one that passed.
So your mom would be like, "Oh, we're going to Babička and Rishka's
Yeah,
home."
yeah.
Okay. I had a grandma and Nana.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get you need to divide them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I really don't like the name Nona, so that's like,
No, it's
which
Nana.
grandma is cooler?
Ours is Nana. Nana, I think maybe Italian.
Nona, Nana. I think grandma is
Na
cool.
na na.
Like, if we have kids, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be grandma and babička, right? You
Yeah.
know, that's just an easy pick.
I think
We don't
so.
have to come up with anything else. But I just feel like grandma is so cute. I like grandma. I like grandpa. Then you have to pick and choose who's gonna be who. How are you gonna decide?
Yeah. All right. So they finish the reception, and their send off is in. What's their send off in, Teresa?
Well, okay.
What's their send off in?
They
What
have a bike send off. I like it. It's original.
Not for Cameron.
Well, maybe he put it together. Oh my gosh, stop it. And guys, this coming from someone who does not like bicycles. I truly don't. Like, I don't like biking. I used to use it as a transportation when I was drinking from
Smart.
point A to point B. Yeah. I fell off a few times, but I still have my bicycle in check. But I don't like it as a sport because my parents used to force me.
Mm-hmm.
They argued on the way, and then my dad always wanted to like finish. Let's say we were doing 60 kilometers. We did all the loop. We got at 58. He made me ride a bicycle around, so we finished freaking 60. And so it was back in the days when my dad was a little fitter.
All right.
But I'm not a big bike fan, but this is fun. I like it.
Okay. Well, that's Clamorin. It's their power couple name.
Yeah.
That's Clamorin. I think this is a good time to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the shitstorm that is Emily and Brennan.
Camaro. I was thinking of another power couple name.
I don't think that one makes sense.
Camaro.
Clamorin. I'm clamoring for a better power couple name, but it's not coming from you.
You don't like Camaro?
It doesn't make...
Claire and Camaro. Come
Camaro?
here. Come here.
Come here.
It's like come here.
It's like come here.
Yeah. It's not bad.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll tell you about our sponsors for this episode, and we'll be back in a second. Watching some of these fashion choices on our favorite shows, I just don't get it, Teresa.
You gotta keep up. Right now, color clashing is in, crochet is everywhere, and Y2K fashion is having a major comeback.
You know what never goes out of style besides jeans and a nice tee? Enjoying your favorite drinks with friends and family.
Absolutely. And that's why we love Drizzly. They're the #1 app for alcohol delivery, bringing your favorite beer, wine, and spirits right to your doorstep in under 60 minutes.
It's so convenient, especially on those nights when the weather is just terrible or you're in the middle of a 90-day Fiancé binge and don't want to leave the house.
Exactly. And Drizzly has the largest selection to choose from. So whether you're feeling like a timeless classic or something fresh and new, they've got you covered.
It's really a no-brainer. Download the Drizzly app or visit drizzly.com today. That's DRIZLY.com.
Let's cheers to convenience, a great selection, and never having to worry about what clothes to put on to go to the liquor store.
Cheers to that, and cheers to Drizzly. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa. You ready to keep this train rolling?
Guys, we paused and went to grab a drink because Emily makes me want to drink. She is like one big walking bottle of vodka or champagne, whatever is the alcohol of choice.
Yeah, she probably mixes it all together.
She is like the Mile Up High Virginia. Mile Up High?
Define mile pie.
Like Denver.
Oh, Mile High? Hold on,
That's what I said.
You're cut off.
Mile Up High.
You're cut off, Teresa.
Mile Up High. What's wrong with that? Seriously. Mile Up High? Starting to sound good.
2 words.
Starting to sound good.
It's 2 words. Mile
Uh-huh.
High.
It's not Mile Up High? Why not?
I don't know. Ask the people who created the nickname.
Wait, it's an official nickname?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if it's on the license plates. It might be, but it's common knowledge. That's the Mile High City.
Oh, I like Mile Up High.
I don't.
Rhymes a little better.
There's zero rhyme scheme to that at all.
Let's move on.
Yeah, Emily is an absolute train wreck. She is the person everyone's talking about this season. And my first instinct was when I saw her, a lot of people come on this show looking for a partner. Emily came on this show looking for a designated driver.
I have to agree with this, but I am going to pause because I know it's episode 3, but it's our first episode. And I wanted to mention what they do for a living.
Oh, sure.
Because I always find it interesting. So back to Cameron. We know he owns a shop
Wait,
with
what does
bikes.
he do? Oh, he does something with bikes.
And we said that Claire is a therapist, but Emily is an account executive.
By day and a woo girl by night.
And Brennan is a software consultant. I never know what people with their jobs as consultants do. They just consult. Like,
Yeah.
what like, are you gonna pick up the phone when I call you? Like, who are you consulting? Are you consulting people who are buying the software, people who are developing the software?
So as you're consulting with the wrong person, I do not know.
Anyways, I just want to mention it because I love hearing what people do for a living. It's one of my favorite things to hear.
Yes. Okay. So again, a little stairway to nowhere, a photo time, nothing to write home about. Then we get to the reception. And man, the conversation is awkward. We're talking cars. We're talking, I got a Jeep, you got an Audi, #power couple.
I mean, I have a Jeep too, so
I had an Audi. It was my first
look,
car.
look at that.
That was
So posh.
So, You're really struggling, huh?
I said so posh. I don't know why.
Stop trying to make up words.
Trust me, I wasn't. This was an honest mistake.
They're talking, and Emily literally goes, "What else? What else?" Like a comedian on stage working out new material. Like, squirrels are weird. Am I right? Like, it was so brutal. It was so bad.
And it's, again, she's never been in a relationship. And
I can see why.
I can see why too. And I think dating a few people long term is helpful to her benefit. Not to her benefit, but to me understanding her. This is a hard sentence for me. I've never been in a long-term relationship before I met you. However,
You were
we
younger.
dated. I was 25 when we met, and I dated you for what? Almost 4 years before we got married.
Yeah.
So a little different situation.
I just think she should be better at small talk because all she knows is small talk. Everything is a first date. And she's running out of questions after, what car do you drive? It was bad. It was awkward. There's very little chemistry.
They will not make it, and I feel bad for Brennan because I think he is in it for real. Like, he sees his parents married for years. He said he's 100% Russian. His parents are Russian. I think he was born in the States, but from 2 Russian parents.
Russian to the altar.
Yes, and he's a little awkward. He's not my type. However, I feel like he wants to do this. He wants to be in this for real. And he got matched with freaking wild Emily, who's in it for the free booze.
Yeah. Brennan took like 2 sips of his wine while they were eating. Emily downs hers and goes, "You need another glass?" Like, I'm going to get another glass. I get it. Nerves, whatever. But try to put your best foot forward. Take it easy. Take your time. Be a little sober.
Well, I think she likes to party, and wedding is a party.
It can be.
And then they truly ran out of things to say. So she's like, how's the bachelor party? Like, how are the strippers? Like, oh my gosh, like, I did body shots with the strippers. Like, it was wild.
Yeah.
But then it's like, Oh, yeah, the strippers were good.
Yeah,
Good times.
This is why you've never had a relationship. Like you're just volunteering this information on your wedding night.
Literally volunteering.
So then Brennan goes to talk to Emily's friends and bridesmaids, and they ask, "Oh, why did you choose to do this?" His answer wasn't the best, but he's like, "I've never found what I want, but I feel like I'm getting closer and closer, so I knew my next one would be the one." It doesn't really make sense. The next one could have been the one you met on your own, so it didn't really explain
True.
why he signed up for MAFS.
But his friend said that he struggled in the past with communication, that the reason why his relationships ended was a poor communication that he's big on, right?
Yeah.
Well, now here's Emily. They can do shots. I don't know how good her communication style is.
It's probably slurred.
Yes. She was drunk. She wasn't Lindsay
She was not
drunk.
Lindsay. She was not Lindsay.
No one's Lindsay drunk, but...
That was fantastic.
Oh, that was... When she
No-
showed up
no one was-
drunk to the wedding?
Yeah, no one was laying down on a bench, just in the fetal position after their wedding, going like, "Where's the vodka? Where's the vodka?" But then even Emily's friends are not doing her any favors. Emily's friends were like, "Yeah, she always says the second she's in a relationship, this is going to be the one." So then what happens? Because you've literally never
What do you mean?
had.
She's never been in a relationship.
Well, then every guy she goes on a date with, she's like, "This is going to be the one." And Brennan just goes, "Amazing."
Yeah, he's not loving this. Not at all.
No.
But then Dad has a speech and says she's always wanted to be a bride. She's been dressing up for Halloween as a bride
That's ridiculous.
3 years in a row.
And I've always had a little bit of an issue with girls, guys, whatever, who go, "Oh, yeah, I've dreamed about my wedding day since I was a child."
No, he did not.
Maybe you did, but you're dreaming about it for the wrong reason then. You're thinking about the pretty dress and everyone celebrating you and the party. If you're 9 thinking about your wedding, you're not thinking about who you're marrying. Literally the last thing you're thinking about, how could you? That person doesn't exist yet. You're not thinking about your life partner. You're thinking about everything else. So I've always had an issue with people who are like, "Yeah, and dressed up as a bride. Oh, I've always wanted to get married." It's like, then you're excited for the wrong reasons.
Show me a 9-year-old who dreams about their wedding. I'm serious.
Oh, there's plenty.
What?
10-year-old, I don't know. Emily dressed up as a bride for Halloween.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't think as a child, even a teenager, I don't think I've ever had a conversation about a wedding with my friends.
No. me neither.
Like ever. I think I started thinking about me potentially being married once I met you.
Yeah, it's a good time to start thinking about a wedding is once you find a serious partner.
Exactly. Like I never felt like, oh, I need to get married. I was like, well, it is what it is. If I meet, I was hoping I'll meet someone. But at the same time, I'm like, I can be alone and get a dog if it comes down to it. Luckily for me, I got you. And here we are.
A wedding should be a celebration of love.
Yes.
Without the love, there's no wedding. So how are you dreaming about a celebration of love without the love? That's my whole point.
Nice.
I think it's going to be very hard for her to go from what I imagine are one-night stands to marriage. She doesn't know anything in between. So it's going to be a big wake-up call when she's like, "Oh, I'm stuck with this guy." Even if for 2 months. Like, has she been in a relationship for longer than 2 months? I'd be curious to know that.
I don't think she has because friends said, he's asking, like, have you guys met any of her, like, short-term boyfriends? They were like, yeah, like some, but, like, she didn't really, like, label them or, yeah, like, they didn't even say they have, really. So no one really knows what her type is, what she's looking for in a guy because she's never had that. And
Yeah.
again, you do you. That's fine if you didn't get married at first sight.
Totally. No, yeah, Brennan's friends were like, "Oh, what do you tell me more about this? Like, you've never been in a relationship thing." And she goes, "Well, I've hooked up with people, but no real relationship." And yeah, she's 29. So
yeah.
not that she's old, but you would imagine she'd at least have a boyfriend for like 6 months by that age. And here's the other reason I call BS on her is because I don't think you go from never having a 3-month, 6-month relationship to going, I want to get married. No, she probably wants to be on TV. She wants clout. She wants Instagram followers. If you wanted to get married, you would suffer through a relationship for a few months to see like if you could make it work.
Yeah.
I don't think she wants a long-term relationship.
The only thing why I think that she does want it and she just couldn't find it, but it's because she's too wild. Like, she's too wild for a lot of guys, right?
Oh, she tells his friend, she's like, yeah, I brought some handcuffs or whatever.
Yeah. She's an account executive. I don't know for what company, but at this position, you would want to represent yourself well. I don't think you would just go on TV to go on TV if you're planning on keeping your job. And maths people don't really get Instagram famous.
No,
it's not 90. It's not Love
season.
is Blind. Yeah,
There's
it's one season.
You're done.
They get 20, 30K followers. That's it. I think Jamie and Doug have a lot, but they're the OGs.
Sure.
But yeah, so it's not for Insta fame, I don't think. She just
Well,
needs to
you're
think
still
about it.
You're still on TV. It's exciting.
Yes, you are. Okay.
I think that plays a part. You get the free vacation. You get a little something. And she's giving me daddy's girl vibes. So maybe she's an account executive for like her dad's business.
Oh.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Totally making that up, but that's the vibe I get.
Well, maybe we'll learn more, but she's talking to his friends, right? And they're telling her like he's big on communication. That's why he's single, because most of his past relationships failed because of bad communication. She's like, oh, okay. And then she starts talking about like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we can hook up tonight. Like, we're married, so we don't need to do any of the emotional things. We can just hook up. It's like,
yeah.
girl,
Again,
you don't say hook up with your husband.
this is why. Right. And that language makes me believe she doesn't take this seriously, because you don't hook up with your husband.
No.
You make love.
You bang.
To your husband. Or you bang. But yeah, she's not taking this seriously if she's using like the hook up. Like, you don't hook up with a boyfriend. Once they're, you do stuff, but you're not hooking up is literally hooking up like two single people hooked up and had sex or did whatever. But yeah, you don't hook up with it. It's a good point.
I think friends are like, oh boy, poor Brennan.
Yeah. And then they had a basic send off, which is fitting for basic Emily.
Just dance, but that was a wild dance. Like,
it was a little wild.
That was the dance that you do after like 7 shots of tequila.
That was Angela on The Last Resort last episode. The only thing missing was an iPad under her coochie.
Yes. Are you ready to go to the couple that we all are rooting for?
Don't break our hearts, Becca and Austin.
Becca and Austin. Becca's 31. She's a wedding photographer. And Austin is in business development.
Yeah. So Becca's turn to get in front of the camera. It's photo time. Always the photographer, never the bride. Until now.
Nice.
Becca's got a couple of rules for marriage. Number 1, make out often.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, make out often.
She's loving it. I think they can make it work. I hope they will, because he strikes me as such like a nice, like a goody in a good way, like a nice dude.
Yeah, goody has negative connotation, so don't say that, but just like a good, solid guy.
Yeah, and I feel like she's been through a lot.
Definitely.
And I think she is looking for love. Like as she says when she talks to his friends, she's like, I wanted someone who isn't this for love, not for Insta fame, not for followers, not to be on TV, because I'm not in this for that. And I think they both are in it to be married, and I have high hopes.
They had the best photos.
Yes.
Because they actually have chemistry. You could see it in the photos. It looked natural.
Yeah.
You could see, I won't say love, but you could see attraction and joy that they're together.
And they did it outside.
I guess they did, yeah. All right, reception time. A little small talk here. Becca was making a little small talk, but an interesting question when she said, what do you normally dress in? Like, I'm seeing you here, right?
Yeah.
When do you normally meet your partner when they're all dressed to the nines? What do you normally wear? And he goes, professional skater who doesn't skate.
I liked it.
And Becca goes, same.
And then think about it. We met them. It's true.
Yeah, oh, totally.
They have like the similar vibe, and I love it. And I'm I'm a sucker for outfits. And there are certain types of guys, like before I met you, that I wouldn't date because of the way they dress, because it says a lot about them.
Totally. Well, we talked about this on our Patreon bonus of Naked Attraction.
Oh, yeah.
How, if you guys haven't watched that show, I mean, probably don't. It's a lot.
If you're afraid of all the penises, don't.
It's a lot of
Because
penis.
after 5 minutes, it'll just be, oh, something's hanging in there.
That's a lot of penis. But you made the point that I don't like stripping away the clothes because the outfit someone chooses to wear says so much about them. It's how they express themselves. It's what
Yeah.
they like. And no, that makes a lot of sense. That why
Yeah.
would you choose to be with someone whose wardrobe you were not a fan of?
Yeah, like guys who wear boat shoes, just
Glad you didn't meet me in high school.
far away from me. Like boat shoes and those shorts.
Yeah, I grew up in Connecticut.
Yeah, but you don't wear stuff like this.
I
you
used to.
you have a style. You have a creative style. I have
I-
a creative style, I think. Or okay, I just wear black. But
I had a couple pairs of Sperry's.
oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, Jonathan.
Yeah. So, all right. Austin catches up with Becca's bridesmaids and friends, and Becca's talking to Austin's friends, and Becca's worried she'd be matched with a cloud chaser, as you said, but she immediately could see how authentic Austin was.
Yes, and friends confirmed he is very authentic, and he also likes to take his time.
Sexually.
Yes, well,
Not Becca.
Becca's very sex positive. She's very touchy feely. You can see Austin's face. He's a little
A
scared.
little more reserved.
However, because of her surgeries, she needs to
Yeah.
take the time. And I don't think he knows about it just yet. I don't think she had that conversation. And it's not a wedding conversation, right?
No, but it probably is the silver lining of that surgery is
Yeah.
he is a little bit slower and she's a little bit faster, but the surgery is going to make her slow down. And so they'll potentially be on a similar pace.
Yeah.
Which will work out because, yeah, I mean, Becca's friends tell Austin, like, buckle up, buddy. It's going to be a ride.
Ooh.
So I'm excited to see that.
Let's see.
That's fun energy. And then they got sent off with some colored smoke cannons.
Yeah,
which
like
was cool.
I would have done bubbles or snow.
You're so basic.
I'm not basic, but I
Bubbles?
feel like yeah.
Do sparklers.
No. Well,
We did sparklers. What are you talking about?
yeah, I love that. That's why I'm not suggesting it for them.
Okay.
Maybe they can do bubbles. Like, you know, sometimes in big cities you see people with those big bubbles.
Sure.
Maybe do like a big bubble, walk in it.
I like
Like-
it. The two of them in the same bubble?
Yeah.
I like
You know
that.
the people. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think I
people
do.
who for fun and for some change.
I don't think
make
people are
these-
doing it not for fun. I don't think people are doing it for a punishment.
Make these big bubbles on the sidewalk. People love to see.
I wish you guys could see Teresa. She's like very passionate about this right now. She's being so authentic about this.
I love bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
yeah, sparkly send off that we had was beautiful.
Yes. All right. Let's move on. Is this our last couple?
Last but not least,
Lauren, I'm going to take your job. 30, federal budget officer, and Orion, 26, electrical technician.
he's that young?
It's very young. Very young.
Ooh, he strikes me as young when he speaks sometimes, but he looks like 35-ish.
Okay. So we get their first dance, which was a little awkward. Talk about making room for Jesus. They did more talking than dancing, which
It's good.
it's good, but it's also a defense mechanism from getting too close to each other. It's like, well, let's just interview each other. Let's just interrogate each other.
I'm trying to figure out if they are attracted to each other.
They say they are.
Yes, I think they like each other, but I'm very curious to see how this will go.
Well, here's because we didn't recap episode 1 or 2. I will admit, I was surprised at the level of attraction that each was feeling for the other.
Yes.
But it makes sense because Lauren, and I don't want to mislabel her, but I believe she said she was bisexual or
Yeah.
pansexual.
She's bisexual.
Okay. So to me, that makes sense. Orion has the long hair. He wears earrings. Like, there's some more feminine features. Orion said he dated a guy at
He
some
tried,
point, but
yeah.
he's more attracted to women. Okay. Lauren's a beautiful woman. So that makes sense to me. So I believe that they are both attracted to each other and that this can work. But,
yes.
But they do need to warm up to each other and let the guard down a little bit and get past the interview stage and more to the intimate stage.
I have a problem with Orion, and it comes from later when he talks to her dad.
Absolutely. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So before then, they sit down to eat and they're talking to each other. And Lauren brings up how her mom passed and how her mom was like her therapist. And she feels that's missing. And so since she's being open and vulnerable, Orion opens up. And he's like, you know what? Here's the deal. I'm finishing school. I'm living at home. I'm living with my mom, but I'm saving money.
I was just going to say, remember this, because I'm no real estate agent, but if you want to be one, do you need to get certified in every
Yes.
state?
I believe so.
Okay, because he said he's certified in New York.
Yes. My mom's a real estate agent. Mom, call in. Let me know. But I know like teachers do, pharmacists do. Like, I would imagine if you have to get certified, you'd have to get, there's no like national, maybe there's a national real estate association, I believe. So I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, but he said he's finishing.
But here's what I'll say, because he admits that, I'm living at home. Well, he's only 26.
Yeah.
That's not that crazy. Yes, I was out of the house by 22. I mean, I graduated college. I moved home for like 6 months and then I moved out. But it's not like he's 36 living at home. He's 26, right? So I don't think that's that crazy.
It's not, but I'm trying to, like, is he home because he cannot afford to live on his own, or is he home because, hey, I might as well live with my mom, help each other out, save some money, not because I have to.
It's a good question. It's a fair question. Lauren doesn't seem to mind. She's like, I wish I could live
Yeah.
with my parents.
Well-
We say that all the time.
Yeah, it would be fun. Well, it's because her mom passed away. I think
Right.
she says, I wish I could live with my mom.
It's basically saying, I wish I had one more day with her.
Yeah.
What I would give to be able to live with her. Yeah, but at least she's understanding.
Well, she says, I'm okay with it if there is a reason. Like, he lives at home because he says, I work as a handyman, I'm finishing school, maybe he's helping mom. He said he cooks, he cleans, he's a handy person, right? So she's like, okay, I get it.
Sure.
If he said, I live with my mom because I'm unemployed and 36,
Different story.
that would be a different story.
So then we get a little drum circle, which was cool. We love
Beautiful.
to see. Yeah, we love to see when culture gets
Yes.
integrated into the wedding. We did it, and we love to see when others do it. And then Lauren goes and talks to Orion's friends. Mm-hmm. And Lauren's like, he's like an onion, this Orion guy. He's got so many layers. And the friends go, his nickname is actually Onion.
Yeah, friends and sister. Sister had a lot of questions.
Lauren's like, I'm not going to call him. I will not call him that. Yeah, and then the friends ask her if she has any red flags to share. And all she says is, I just need a lot of validation, but I'm working on it. And that's good, right? It's good. Admit that you are working on something and you can recognize that you need to.
I think his sister wanted some screen time because she kept talking about the validation.
Yeah, sister's coming in house on pre-prepared questions. I think she had some note cards she was memorizing before she got out there.
And then we see Orion talking to her dad, and I assume her stepmom. And that was not good. First, dad was like, I was happy that you're someone who can use a toolbox. That's what I wanted for her.
Mm-hmm.
But so what's up with you? And he says, well, I'm a licensed electrician in New York,
Which is interesting.
and a licensed real estate agent in New
Yeah.
York. So I assume he lived in New York until recently.
And that also makes sense then if that's why you're living with mom, if like, hey, I just moved from New York a few months ago. I'm going to live at home. I'm clearly going through this maps process. I'm not going to go rent something. Like, it all checks out. But yeah, the issue is Orion kind of wants to move back to the East Coast.
He's like, I want to have a house on the East Coast. House in Colorado. Like, he loves the East Coast. But what East Coast exactly? It's a big coast. I guess New York. Yeah, and Dad doesn't like it. I don't like it either because I'm like, dude, first of all, you're not even considering Lauren in this conversation.
That's
you didn't
Dad's
even
issue.
mention her.
Yeah.
And it's true. Second of all, you're doing Married at First Sight in Colorado. Most people, I think all of these people live in Denver or around Denver. I have their jobs there. So no one's really trying to like pack up and go. The
I know,
fact
it's giving...
that he's like, oh, yeah, I don't see myself there. It's like, well, why are you married at first sight? I can understand if someone's like, oh, okay, we get married, we want to move elsewhere, cool. But him going into this with this mindset, not very good.
It's giving Mac vibes from last
Yes.
season, who did get out of Nashville ASAP.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not the best first impression that he's making with Dad.
And Meg quickly said at the wedding that, oh yeah, I'm definitely staying here, settling down in Nashville.
Yeah, Orion's not even saying that.
Yep.
So then Lauren tells her family, oh, Ryan's giving mom vibes. And that's a positive thing. Like that, you'd think that may be a negative. That's a positive thing because, again, yes, she lost her mom. So the presence of that feeling, the calming presence is all positive. And everyone can see that they are connecting, Orion and Lauren.
And they got my favorite send-off, the salty send-off. I still think it was salt.
I think it was rice.
I wasn't because it was staying in her hair.
Well, it was-
Rice is too heavy.
It was snowing, so that would make sense to salt the sidewalk. It's just smart.
You think that's what they were doing?
Yeah, they don't want them to slip on their way out.
Okay. I don't think that was it, but
You really think they were throwing salt?
yeah.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. Could be. Salt is good. I would just be holding a tomato so people could like put some salt on it so I could bite.
All right.
Salted tomatoes are the best.
Well, that's the end of the episode.
What?
Thank you guys for understanding why we were unable to put out the first two recaps, but we're here. We're caught up. We're in it. We're loving it. Right, Teresa?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Call in if you think salty tomatoes are the best.
Poor Michael. I think he will get matched shortly, and then we'll get to watch his journey, but he'll probably miss out on the honeymoon with the rest of the folks.
Well, they'll need to send them too, right? No?
Yeah, maybe they'll just send him to the Cheesecake Factory or something.
The Cheesecake
I
Factory?
don't know. Something local.
It's a chain.
So we're excited for this.
Okay.
We're excited for this season. It looks good. We're in it.
It looks good.
We're invested.
I know.
We're totally invested. So
I am happy that Mavs took such a long break. You know why? Because it make me want to do this. It make me want to watch. If it's like back to back to back, especially after a couple of not that great episodes or
Yeah.
seasons, I would be like, okay. We had the break, right? And now I'm like, all right, let's go Denver.
all right, let's go Denver. Thank you guys for listening. If you want to hear more, we're on Patreon. We're on Supercast. We're talking about 90 Day the Other Way. It's a fantastic season. So join us over there, patreon.com/marriedtoreality or marriedtoreality.supercast.com. Also, follow us on Instagram. We're having fun over there. We're sharing memes. We're sharing photos of our Halloween costume.
Yes.
You can message us, call in. It's all good times on the Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. So give us a follow. Also, make sure you're following us wherever you're listening to the podcast right now. It's so easy to do. Just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's hot. Is the previews because, man, it's going to be a good season.
Don't jinx it. I hope so.
It's going to be a good season.
We've been played before.
I hope.
All right. And last but not least, if you haven't left us a review, please do. You guys know we love. And if you haven't left a review and you leave a 5-star review, well, we'll read it on the 90-day podcast, the Monday podcast, so everyone can hear.
Yes.
All right. That is it. I've said it all.
I've said it all.
Yes, you have. Means we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.